Hey guys, JH6 and I appreciate you guys watching. So I recently came across this channel thanks to one of you guys and I really appreciate that. Check them out and I gotta tell you guys a ton of information. An army guy coming out of the army pretty soon, infantry guy, a guy that has a ton, you know, like over 7-8 years of experience, combat experience, training experience. I mean, some of those guys that just have a ton of information. So go ahead and check him out. I'm gonna put the links down below. I actually talked to him yesterday and sounds like a very cool guy. Like I said, guys, like, you know, I said this in the past, a person that supports this country always gonna have my subscription. So what I'm gonna do now is that he's gonna come here into the channel. He's gonna tell us a couple of things, you know, when it comes down to carry a gun, some of the elements that you should be thinking when it comes down to actually carrying a concealed weapon. So with that being said, guys, let's get started.
Hey everyone, Kevin from 9mm here with Battlefield 6, and thanks to JH6 for going to be doing this video on his channel. And we're going to talk real fast about some different elements of a carry gun and what you need to look for in your carry gun. And so the first thing that we're going to make sure that our carry gun has is a good firing system on there. What I mean by a good firing system is a reliable, reputable, and well-trusted firing system, i.e. a striker-fired firing system. Double actions and single actions have been tested over time, but they're kind of outdated and they're getting more and more so that way every day. So we go to a striker-fired system. There's plenty of brands out there that make quality striker-fire system. Everybody immediately thinks of Glock, but if you don't like Glock for whatever reason, there's MMPs, there's H&Ks, there's Springfield, there's Carr, there's a lot of different brands that make quality striker-fire systems. There's some more robust firing systems, so that's what we want to go with and we're depending our life on it. It may not have quite as smooth a trigger pull as something like a 1911, but we're not talking about using it for a competition. We're talking about using this gun to save our life with, so the reliability of that firing mechanism is far more important than the feel of that trigger, if that makes sense. This is reliable and tested firearm. And so what I mean by reliable and tested firearm is that if a Springfield and a Glock and a Smith & Wesson and an H&K, those are all reliable firearm manufacturers. We know that brand has been reliable since the beginning, that they all produce quality firearms. However, they've each made models that are untested or that at certain points in time or that have failed the testing. Now some of those, like Glock being a big one, they always go back and they try and fix it to make sure that it passes their test because that's kind of their namesake with it. But the things like the Springfield, the XDs and the XDMs, they've had a lot of issues with them, they've had a lot of parts break, they have a lot of malfunctions with them, and because people kept buying them, Springfield never said, hey, we're going to go ahead and fix this. They just kind of left them as they were. They maybe fixed a few issues with them, but the Springfield XDs have a lot of issues. So that's where we go with a tested firearm. Things like the MFP are tested. Glocks, no matter which model you get, are tested. This H&K VP9 that hit the market in July this year may be a great firearm, maybe a very quality, very well and quality built firearm, but it's not tested yet. So we need to give it some time before we actually purchase that gun to be our daily carry. Next thing is carryability and the wearability of that firearm. So what I mean by that is the size of that firearm. We have full size, we have compacts, we have subcompacts, and we have pocket rockets. And so we need to make sure that we can carry that firearm. And so if you're not going to dress to carry, then you need to carry to the way that you dress. And so what I mean by that is if you're not going to buy the cool 511 clothing to carry your gun and to be able to carry a full size firearm, then you need to get a firearm that you will carry and use that one. And so if you know that you're never going to carry a Glock 17, it's too big of a firearm, you're not going to change your whole wardrobe to carry the Glock 17, then maybe things like this Glock 26 are a little bit better model for you to use, and this size might fit you a little bit better because they can fit in pretty much whatever you're going to wear. Now females tend to have a little bit hard time with this because you wear a little bit tighter clothing, and you'll have a few more issues finding a firearm that fits. But I guarantee you that placed in the right spot and with the right person with a little bit of creativity with your clothing, even without changing your wardrobe, that regardless of who you are, you can still carry a compact or a subcompact. You don't have to limit yourself to carrying one of these pocket rockets other than as a backup gun. So look into, I'm not a big guy, but I can still manage to carry a Glock 17 and a Glock 26 on a daily basis, and they both conceal fine. And again, I'm not that big of a guy. So we just have to look at getting a little bit creative with the way that we carry and understand that it's mostly the hassle of carrying that firearm that people don't want, more so than the fact that they're that they can't conceal it, if that makes sense. The next thing is we're going to make sure that our gun has quality sights. I'm not going to tell you to get fiber optics. I'm not going to tell you to get necessarily night sights or day sights. You guys know that I like night sights on my guns, but the reality of it is that if you have something like the Glock factory day sights, they're cheap plastic sights. Knock them out. Plastic sights have a tendency of breaking that rear sight off when you draw your pistol or when you reholster it. So we just want to get rid of those and be done with the issue all total. Same thing with fiber optics. Fiber optics have a tendency of that front sight breaking out, and so that's why we kind of stay away from fiber optics. Now there's a lot of respectable shooters out there that use fiber optics, and there are quality brands that make some good ones that are robust and very well built and that you won't have issues with. So we can go with those, but we just need to do the research and make sure that we're putting in quality sights, something like Mechanolith or Glows or something along those lines that build quality sights for your firearm. The last thing is we're going to make sure that our firearm is chambered in an appropriate caliber. So we're not going to start the caliber debate about whether 9mm 40 or 45 or 357 Magnum, whatever caliber you want to throw in there. But what we will say is that do not go below a 380 auto. That should be the baseline, the minimum that you will go down to as far as your fighting pistol. Now, again, I'm not a huge fan of a 380 auto. I think that you guys know that I like a 9mm, but at the end of the day, if we don't go below a 380 auto, we're going to be okay. And the reality of it is that hitting a good group in this size target is really what matters. Because if I can put 2 rounds of a 22 in this target, then I'm going to take. Then we have a significant higher chance of taking down that assailant. So we have to look at lethality and incapacitation. And that's what that round brings us, is lethality and incapacitation. And there's a huge difference between those. And the way that we maximize that effectively is getting those shots in here grouped together and getting this kill zone shot with a nice well-aimed control pair. So anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching. We'll go back to JH6. Remember to stay alert, stay alive. And this is Gary with your 9mm.
Alright guys, if you guys like videos like this, make sure you click like. I always appreciate when you subscribe to this channel, share my videos, and as always, God is in control.